Good morning. Great to see you all on this wonderful, beautiful morning. If you don't, I don't. It was zip tie.
Yesterday was amazing. We had a barbecue for FiveAlive. It was the best.
Second reading.
2:17.
What?
2:17.
Oh, actually, you're right. Of course, you're right. You're always right. Second reading, Leviticus 13:6-17. Paradoxically, Taras on a person's skin renders him ritually defiled only if it covers part of his body. If it spreads over his whole body, it is not ritually defiled. Was it paradoxically? Because if there's some would make you defiled. All would make you not defiled. But it seems kind of like a opposite of what counterintuitive. Because then you have more tzaras, so then maybe you should be considered defiled. But no, if you have it everywhere, then it's not considered tzaras. Interesting concepts. Yeah. Anyways, good morning. Good morning, Sean. Good morning, Yitzi. Good morning, the entire world. Could you invite me? Could you press the invite thing for a second? Yeah. Press invite.
Close? Okay.
And I'm gonna share it.
Why didn't you want?
Okay, go ahead, Yitzi.
A light unto the nation. Mine kis ta Taras esko be Sarai ve Tihar Vigan Vaikra Yud Gimel Pasuk Yud Gimel. If the Taras has covered all his flesh, he is not defiled. I was just thinking about the paragraph, the title, "A Light Unto the Nation." I mean, I think that if everyone's like, so I'm okay, yeah, blah blah blah, but then like a kid comes and like smiles and like brights everyone up, that is lighting on to the nation. Like the beginning of this year, I mean, first year I came here, I guess everyone thought that I was something, and I lit the whole light of jets, and I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah.
I know. Is it Tsaras in the first place if it's covering his whole body? Are we talking about actual Tsaras, or like something that looks like Tsaras that's covering his whole body? And what would be the point of that in the first place if it is Tsaras? And if it's not Tsaras, then what is it? One of the signs given by the sages that the Messiah's arrival is imminent is that the government has become heretical. This notion is alluded to in the law that if Tsaras covers the entire body, a person is not defiled. I don't know how, but I guess when everything is so bad, there's something good that's going to come out of it. Yes.
There are two ways that the world's governments can be considered to have become heretical. The negative way is for heresy to indeed infect all the world's governments. The positive way is for the truth of the Torah to become so self-evident that it will be universally acknowledged that any government that does not submit to the Torah's rules is heretical. Good morning, Chaim. Good to see you. Interesting thought, because in regards to what we consider negative, immoral, whatever, all those kind of stuff, it's very difficult. You don't have pretty much, unless you're basing it on something, and you don't really have what we would call moral compass. Good morning, Hillel. Good to see you. Hoping that we're getting an update, even though it's later on in the day. You're just waking up. I don't know. Or you're going back to sleep. Or you have some sand in your eye. Some dust in the eyes. Basically, what makes something not moral?
You got the next one. I'm up to is or no? It. Yeah.
It.
It is our hope and pray that redemption occurs the second way. It is therefore imperative that the Jewish people encourage the nation. The nation of the world to fulfill the commandment that the Torah obligates them to observe. By acknowledging the Torah as the sole positive basic for true essential behavior and moral justice, the non-Jewish world will come to recognize and appreciate the Jewish people as the vanguards of universal justice, morality, and peace. This will pave the way for the ultimate Messiah redemption. Lekidus Simcha, volume 32, pages 77 through 83.
Hello.
Isaac, what's up? How you doing? I'm just finishing up work. Just finished working. Crazy update. Crazy update. If I get, upstairs on time, I'll be able to show you. I just have to put my shoes back on. Because, oh, crap. Ahmad, Jibe. Azov, what's up? We put in the closets today. The closet guys came in today. We have closets with TVs inside the closets. It's pretty cool. I don't think there's anything like that in America. Hold up. Let me see something. Can't see. I got 34 seconds. I think I can make it up on time. So I can just bring the... What's it called? All right. Hold up. Here we go. Wait. Hold up. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 17 seconds. Okay. Over here. This is where the porch is. That's a TV. That's where the closet's gonna be.
Thank you, hello. I'm.
Good morning, Shalom. Good morning, Isaac. Good morning, Yitzi. Good morning, hello. I'm extremely tired. For those of you who know, I had a wedding last night. I shot a wedding in New Jersey. And the worst part about that is I have to drive all the way back with my little gross mom, and I'm really tired. But Isaac ended off on, I don't know what the conversation was about what's moral. And I don't know, this is what I feel is moral is we're godly people. Whatever doesn't make sense in God's eyes is immoral. When you do something that doesn't make sense in another person's eyes, not like any other person, like an average person's eyes, it's immoral. Like it's unmoral to say something disgusting. You have to have morals and you have to keep your mouth clean. Side note, there's a magazine, for those of you who don't know, called Sheikh Abad, and I was looking at it over Shabbos because I was really bored. And I came across a story from Harab Moshe Khanin, which really inspired me, which it really spoke about how everything in life is all about believing in God and knowing there's a God. And it's great to see that everyone has their struggles. Like you think you have your struggles, but the same person you think is perfect has different types of struggles than you, and we all have the same struggles.
Big time. Shalom.
What is morality? What are we trying to accomplish with it? How do we get people to want to be moral? Do we have to get people to want to be moral? I want to know the answer to those questions before I try to answer. Because I think that like everyone is, for the most part, trying to be as moral as possible, but it's like a terms and conditions, and that terms and conditions is like whatever's going on in the brain of that individual. And I'm just thinking, meaning like for everyone it's different because everyone grows up in a different environment. Everyone has a different experience of what life is. And if we're all basing it on ourselves, and morality is going to change from region to region, from person to person. And if it's based on a higher source, what's to say it will work?
Line on to the nations. Being a chisat tzaras, it's called sorry v'tir gimel vikar yud gimel. If the tzaras has covered all his flesh, he is not defiled. So this is what made me think about it. If I have tzaras in just one area of my body, not me, somebody else has tzaras in one area of his body, so then he's defiled, right? Because he has tzaras, he's considered a mitzvah, and he's got an issue. But if it's covering everywhere, so then it's not considered an issue. So that's what I'm saying about this idea of morality. That's what made me think about it, because if everybody does it, then it becomes acceptable. And that becomes the moral thing because everybody's doing it. So it's spread out kind of like everywhere. So then it becomes normal. I mean, like, it's kind of like a question and an answer at the same time. Obviously not. But the point is, that's what made me, what I'm saying is that that's what made me think about it, is that if it's everywhere, it becomes acceptable. So I think that we're kind of showing that it could go both ways. It could either go that it becomes so messed up everywhere. That's the preparation for Mashiach. Like, that's the first thing that's going to show that we're in the Mashiach times. Or we could do it the opposite, that we could raise the bar by sharing the Torah's morality, by sharing the Sheva Mitzvahs B'nai Noach, which every person is obligated to do, and by teaching the world about it, and therefore raising the bar on what is moral.
I think that the last paragraph had something to do with like the coming of Mashiach. Like all the non-Jewish people are like realize, yeah, the Jewish people are great and stuff, and we should do a lot of things for them, and like they're gonna realize more than us. Like we're gonna be in step A, and they're gonna be in step B, but B is gonna be like no, sorry, we're gonna be B, and they're gonna be A, and A is much better than B because A is number one, and they're gonna realize how higher that the Jews were than they were, and then they're gonna get higher than us, and we're gonna have to realize to be equal. Yeah. Um. Halo, it's your turn, Halo.
First of all, I say I disagree with everything you said about getting higher than other people. All depends where you get your weed from. I personally never smoked weed, but I know Cali Spliff Nation. It's like one of the good stuff. I don't even know what Spliff Nation means, but I think you mix cigarettes with marijuana. But anyways, I'm taking my rocks out of my shoes. Um, I officially ruined my brand new Air Forces that I bought like 2 months ago. I worked hard for them, and I also gave myself a 50 shekel discount because I came in speaking English. And דיברתי להם את השכל, בקיצור. Anyways, point is, life is like life. What did I want to say before? God damn it. Doesn't matter how hard you work, you look like you don't work hard for a second. All the hard work that you did is as if it didn't even count. It's a fact. If you go in a race, right, you're racing, and then at the last second somebody beats you, who won the race? You or the other guy that?
Thank you.
Anyways, we'll see it later.
I was thinking the Taras thing was basically the Taras is so evident. So like you don't have to like look for it or get like a set. You know the Taras is there. Like you go to the con, you're like, yeah, okay, we all know what the situation is. I'm going to you just for you're certified to actually give me the title, or not give me the title in this case. But like the negative is like so in everyone's face. It's like you know what you need to work on because it's right there. And I think like we have this, like I think this is what it's saying, that there's so much negative from the government, from like the people running the country, all the countries, that like for the people who are within the countries themselves, they're like, this is corrupt. We know what's good because we see how negative the effects are of what the actions of these certain people are doing, and we can't run a country off it. Like how can we each individually go about doing these things and say it's okay? So I think that's where we get our like we will get our final understanding of like how things should be running, and then yeah, Mashiach will come. Well, I was like telling Svi, like I was waiting for you guys. I was waiting for you guys this morning, waiting, and you finally came. Mashiach.
That is very nice. One of the signs given by the sages that Messiah's arrival is imminent is that the government has become heretical. This notion is alluded to in the law that if tzaraz covers the entire body, the person is not defiled. I'm just trying to figure out why, and I'm not fully getting it. But again, we're only getting a snippet. So if we want to, we could go check out, look at the Seches, find 32. So number one is just making sure I made my point, is that I believe the only moral compass that we could actually have is the Torah. It means if we follow something that is unchanging, then it will stick, and that's what's moral. If not, then we're all left to our own devices and decisions and what we decide and think is good and moral. And two is that there's actually a thing that Goyim raise us up. That means, I don't know if this is exactly what you were saying or not, but that the Goyim basically, like whatever level they are on, like we said, we have to be a light unto the nation. So whatever level they are on, we have to be on a higher level. And in times of Mashiach, they have that idea that they raise up and they start learning godly information.
Maybe that's what I was saying. So weird. Everyone's like Seoul school's like empty now because of a vacation. It's like most people like left. Like in the beginning of the year, it's like a bunch of people, and then it gets like lower and lower and lower till like at the end of the year, you have like a lot of people just coming back or something. It's so weird. Um, um, I mean, I think that um, the reason that it's saying about like Saras and like is because like if we don't know about Taras, then I don't think anybody will realize that oh I'm lying and saying stuff.
הלל,
תני לי שנייה, אני אעזור לך.
לא, אני רוצה לקפל את זה.
לקפל? בוא נקפל. anyways, guys.
להשתמש בלצפות? עוד פעם תקחי את זה? לצפות.
So anyways, what I was trying to say is...
היא ממחזרת, היא לא יודעת.
רגע, איך אבל? נקפל כמו שמיכה? אני אקפל לך את זה רגע.
הנה, האוטובוס שלך מפריע.
הנה, 189, גם שלי.
כן, יאללה, בוא.
יאללה. So this old lady just found this thing on the floor, helping her. Opa. I was trying to say before that these candies made my day.
You speak English.
Yeah, I'm speaking
Why didn't
English.
tell me?
Oh, you speak English
I'm
also?
crazy
You
about
wanna say hi?
Hi.
Hi.
He's so nice, this guy. He helped me. He's so a gentleman.
Oh, thank you.
Gentleman, nobody asked for help. Nobody asked, can I help you? But he is wonderful.
I turned American, yeah, like I moved from Israel. עברתי מישראל שהייתי בן איזה 5-6.
אתה הולך חדש עכשיו?
תושב חוזר.
איפה? תגיד, אתה חייל,
בת ים.
מתנדב?
תכף, אני...
Hello, thank you. We're
You
disturbing you.
weren't disturbing until you asked that.
Oh.
I had no idea what's going on there in Israel. Oh, yeah, you're speaking. I mean, I don't know if your question was about like the whole body being covered and not being defiled. If it was, I think when it's so in your face, you don't need like that cleansing period. It's like this is the fact of the matter. If that was your question, if not, like I'm just gonna move on to something else. Yeah, it's not easy. Real morality is not easy. Honestly, it takes a lot of holding back, a lot of doing a lot of work.
My last question, I'm not sure which question you're speaking of, but my last question was about what is the connection between the government becoming heretical and the fact that Saras covers the entire body. Person is not defiled. So I didn't get that one. Maybe that's the idea, is that if it's everywhere, then it's not a problem. Meaning he's saying it's a sign for Mashiach. It means you think all the governments are becoming heretical, they're all cuckoo and crazy, and therefore it's bad science. No, Chacham is telling you, no, that's a sign of Mashiach. It could be that that's a connection. And he's saying, I think so. Hillel, you're still there? Hillel. There are two ways that the world's governments can be considered to have become heretical. The negative way is for heresy to indeed infect all the world's governments. The positive way is for the truth of the Torah to become so self-evident that it will be universally acknowledged that any government that does not submit to the Torah's rules is heretical. So, I think, I'm trying to figure out, what do you think it's holding in the world right now? You think the world's governments have become heretical, or that the Torah's truth became very self-evident?
I don't think this week I'm gonna get any sleep because I have a lot of things to do, face off and stuff, cleaning.
Are you serious, Shalom?
I feel like if there's a lot more people on live, I think it would be much more interesting. I mean, most people have a lot of things to say. We don't really have like a lot to say because like we say like a few things and then like we just like see who has another topic or something. I mean, yeah. Is that your only strip, John? So. Hello, your turn.
Oh shoot! What's up, guys? I didn't realize. So I just got on the bus. On the way home, can't wait to go to sleep at like 8:30 because I have to wake up at 4:45 again tomorrow. We have to take out all the trash and everything. That's gonna be at like 5:30 in the morning. So yeah. And by the way, like I don't know why. Like sometimes, like I was so tired right now. I am so tired right now. But like when it comes to helping out, like helping people and stuff, especially like older people, like I don't know. I like to help, and I wish I could do more, but I'm just so tired. Anyways, I'm gonna open a vlog soon. Try to inspire people and doing crazy stuff. Savage out. But yeah. Anyways, I'm really tired, and there's stuff I want to say, but I can't right now because I'm on a public bus. Anyways, like I could say, it just wouldn't be nice to some people. I'll pass.
Thanks, Hillel.
Shalom.
Always wanted to do that. Always. To answer your question, I think that when something is so obvious, when a negative is so obvious to the general public, it becomes, like it's saying, it's self-evident that will be universally acknowledged that any government that does not submit to the Torah's rules is heretical. Basically, like if a government is not acting under like even if a government is doing well in certain aspects, but if they're not doing well in other aspects, like they'll get called out for it. Like, they'll get called out for doing things that are just wrong, flat out wrong. Like the general public would be like, "This is wrong. This is because there's only one right way for the world to run." And if a government is doing it, it's like that's the whole body basically saying like, "Yeah, there's something freaking wrong with this country, and we need to change things." I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, like when the negative is so self-evident, there's no need for like I'm saying, it just becomes we know what we need to do, and once we know what we need to do, Michelle, apparently that's what it's saying.
Don't think I'm a nerd for having something invested in like my own opinion. I don't understand what you said. I don't understand the point of what you're saying. And then at the end, you really threw me off because you sounded like you weren't agreeing with yourself either. So I'm not really sure what you said or what you didn't agree with, which is the same thing. So we're saying that if something is so self-evident that it's bad, so then the people will say that it's wrong? I don't know. And also, what does this have to do with me? That's another question of mine. There are two ways that the world's government can be considered. I just read that one. It is our hope and prayer that redemption occur the second way. It is therefore imperative that the Jewish people encourage the nations of the world to fulfill the commandment that the Torah obligates them to observe. By acknowledging the Torah as the sole possible basis for true ethical behavior and moral justice, the non-Jewish world will come to recognize and appreciate the Jewish people as the vanguards of universal justice, morality, and peace. This will pave the way for the ultimate messianic redemption. Okay, here's like okay, I'll jump right into something crazy, right? So if a rabbi, for example, God forbid, molests a kid, it's like right away makes headlines like, oh, rabbi, yeah, and he like what, you know?
I mean, most of the time, if people know who people are, then their name is gonna get out there easy. Like if they say, oh, this kid did this and this, like people are gonna be like, oh wow, this kid was bad and did all these things. But then like next thing you know, it'll be like, oh, I knew that guy. He was loving. He cared about people and did a bunch of things for people, and like people don't want to get their name out there. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't. I was just thinking about what
I do,
Hilo.
of course I do.
I was thinking like Hilo said he wants to make a vlog. Like how like does you like how do people know how to start things like from the beginning until the end? Like people like do YouTube videos and like all these stupid things. Like they take a video of someone jumping off a roof or something, and yeah.
Hello.
Right? Yeah, I know. Because I lived in America for like 11 years. So I got some experience with the language, you know? Yeah, no problem. Have a great day. A great night. Thank you. Oh. So, anyways. טוב. יאללה, שיהיה לך לילה טוב. יאללה, ביי. תודה. You guys hear that? English fits me better. Anyways, yo, I remember what I wanted to say before that, basically, Yitzi reminded me, or Isaac reminded me, oh, right, that, I was wondering, like, let's say, goyish haircuts, right? Let's say I have a goyish haircut, but I'm a Jewish boy, and I'm a savage, and I do good things. So, like, can I prove a point? Can I be like, oh, I still have like not like a, Jewish haircut, like that most Jews, like legit Jews have, but I'm still doing good things. Like, that should be like the opposite, right? That should be like a Kiddush Hashem, not a Chilul Hashem, right? Right, Isaac? I mean, like, I don't know if that's like, whatever, like, I'm trying to like, not focus it.
The idea really is that there's something wrong with certain haircuts according to halacha, but no one's saying that you can't do well with that haircut as a human being. Doesn't change the way you actually do things. Then, I mean, do your thing. It's just better not to because of halachic reasons, but again, that's not changing who you are as a person. And what's most important is that not what you're doing, not the halachas you're keeping. That's between you and God, not between anybody else. And for people judging in general, like, they should just realize that they're judging. And yeah. Here. Thank you very much for the ride. Oh, Yitzi. It's actually, yeah, okay. All I'm saying is that when there's a negative that's self-evident, there's no need for anything else to be done about that, because everyone's just gonna be like, yeah, this is what happened when this happened. Meaning, like, if when people act in this way, we see how it manifested itself in reality, and the government did it. So then now we see that the good we have to do is to counteract that negatives.
So first of all, I wanted to tell Hillel for a while. I wanted to tell him I really found it funny. I enjoyed how you went, Ahmad. Lo tzarich. Anyway, I thought that was funny. I don't know. I guess I have a a dislike for Arabs built in. So whatever. I have things I would like to share, but I don't know if it's the right thing. So I'm gonna go for different stuff, which I wanted to say before. Anyways, so we said that we're the vanguard, meaning we're the front line. We're the front line of what people consider universal justice, morality, and peace. That's what we're saying over here. That people look at us and they see what's the right way to behave, what's the right way to believe, what's the right way for whatever it is. So I want to say the opposite, and I'll ask you this: is it possible for someone to have Streimel and Bekische? What's the other things called? Whatever, all the good clothes and all the stuff, and I have a Chassidish haircut and do things that are wrong? Of course, that's possible.
I mean, I'm a Jew. I'm nice. I had a mohawk before. I mean, whatever the chip, whatever it's called. I mean, it doesn't really matter how your hair looks or what kind of haircut you got. It matters of the person you are. Like if you think that the haircut's gonna change you, like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna get a cool chip on my hair, and the rest is gonna be shaved, and I think that's gonna be look cool that I have it, and like if like you think that it's gonna ruin your life by like having a different haircut than other people, then you shouldn't. But if you just want it as a style, and like you're still like inside, okay, it's just a hairstyle, and I want to be cool, but it's not the right thing. And I mean, I think that it's yeah. If you think that you want it, then you could go ahead, but try not to change who you really are.
No, you guys, I didn't say my point correctly. What I meant to say was, don't you think it would have been such a better influence on the goyim if you had like non-Jewish haircuts, but we still did good things Jewish ways? Like, wouldn't that? You know what I'm saying, Isaac? Like the opposite. No, I'm trying to like a Chassidish with the twist. However many Colin says it. Like yeah. Anyways, doesn't matter. Basically, again, what was I trying to say before? Oh yeah, so me and Arabs, basically, I'm like their manager, right? I have two workers, but the thing is, like, I'm still like a trainee guy, but I'm supposed to be like in charge of them. So like they know that like I'm a trainee, and they're hating the fact. Slowly they're hating. Before they respected it, slowly they're hating it because like of how much work I'm telling them to do. because I realized how much work needs to be done and that we need to work fast. My uncle puts that pressure on me. So I have that pressure on all day, and I don't even have the concept of time. Like 2 hours feels like 5 minutes for me. Legit. Like that's how it feels. But I work all day, I keep moving, and they're like, they stare at me, they stop, stare at me. They're like, watch me work. Like watch me work. Now watch me sweep. Like bro, like I'm working all day. You're watching me, and like
Yeah.
get your ass moving, bro. Anyways, I also just hate Arabs. I'll say it for you.
What
We
you
all
want?
hate Arabs. Can't trust them.
So,
Hi.
Imagine a Jew with a hat and jacket actually doing what you were saying, Hillel. That's the real hop in my head. Like being a good Jew in a hat and jacket. Um, that's the real struggle right there. It's easy to fit in and I mean in my head it's easier to get the haircut of like a bunch of non-Jewish friends, and then like it's like they work on site, so like they see something, they'll be like they'll make that distinction between you and other Jews and be like, you're a cool Jew because you're one of us. At least you're trying to be one of us. That's the way I think of it. If you come in a hat and jacket, that visual aspect is taken away from you instantly, and you have to work on the relationship part of it without getting any help from your.
well said, Shalom. Hello, I hope you were listening to what Shalom was just saying. Those some answers right there. So just to continue on that a little bit, is that you have a stronger impact, I think. So let's put in a scenario. You walk in and you see a guy that looks like everybody else, and he's behaving like a mensch. He's behaving nicely. He's proper respect, whatever it is. So we're like, oh, and then you find out he's Jewish. Like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's nice. As opposed to if you walk in and you see a guy that's fully garbed as a frum Jew, and you're like, okay, there's no way that this guy knows anything about respect, about the world. He's probably locked up in his own bubble and doesn't know anything about anything. And then they get surprised because you're respectful, you treat him nicely, you know about the world, you speak English even, and then they're impressed, like, wow, look at this guy, a frum guy that's sticks to his values, sticks to what he believes and stuff like that, and he's still respectful and still knows what's going on in the world. So I think that it has a stronger impact, but it's a greater challenge. I think it's a greater challenge for a few different reasons, that you represent something. And I think a classic example of that is a beard. That everybody looks at you different when you have a beard.
I am so tired. Why did I say that? Hi. Can't believe that school's almost down. Everyone's coming back, going home for peace off. It's like so weird. I mean, see, I go home every day, and it's like, yeah, I'm a robot. I go back and forth, but like people that haven't seen their family and stuff, it's like a whole new system has to go like process into their mind. And,
Whoa. Is it my time? Oh my god, it was my time for like a long time.
In 25 seconds.
Oh shoot, never mind.
It's all right. It's all good. I think that today we should all like light up. Like we should all be a light onto the nation. Like for maybe the whole day. Try to be nice or something. Or
Well,
Hello.
now it's your turn.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Guys, look, since I've been doing construction and remodeling my uncle's house, like I look at everything and I see like through it. Right now I'm looking at these tiles on the floor. Hold on. And like under that there's like sand, and then there's cement, and there's like other stuff. Guys, we're gonna do an experiment right now on FiveAlive. Is it possible to fill my Ralph cup here? Yeah? Hi, how are you? Yeah, I know I'm really tired also. Like I would fall asleep on you right now if I could, but I can't. Are you able to do Chochi?
Yes.
Yeah?
For next month.
Yeah, for like how much is it?
But this is no. You can't. You have to go to the.
Oh my god,
the
my
wrap-up center and,
oh shit.
with
For
your
my picture,
photo.
right? Because the one with my picture it's not with me. It's in Beit Shemesh.
Oh, so
I
you
have to,
want
like,
just to.
Just do like 30.
Yeah.
Just fill 30. Anyways, guys, point is, lesson of the day is be nice to everybody. Do what you can to help the world. And doesn't matter how you look, if you look Jewish or not. Like, just help out. I think people will appreciate it. But yeah. What happens? Is it not
It's
working?
expired.
Are you kidding me? This one also?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You need to ask them.
Just thinking, like, whoever's talking to them is talking to someone with like two things in their ears. I mean, whatever. Yeah, just a thought. Like having like, I don't know. There could always be like something else playing there, like us, like the sound of my voice, and then he's like speaking to someone, and the other person's like, whatever. Yeah, they're just doing their job. I think what I want with myself is that like the wrong is so self-evident from the fact that it doesn't work. To me, I keep saying that, and I don't think you understand or anyone else understands. But the point is that I get to see like all the negative as being negative, without like without having to trick myself into thinking that that things are good or things are bad. And work on those things. But I'm doing a lot of talking about it. I'm doing very little action about it. Something's got to change. Have a great day.
yeah, sure,
We out of time?
yeah.
We're past the time.
Wow.
No, we're not out of time. We're never out of time. Never.